Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. In this episode, we're going to take a look at actually kind of a mixed media piece coming from an up and coming artist, David from Mars. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about diversity of color. We're going to talk a little bit about this climactic reveal, and then we're also going to talk about the iridescent light that's often associated with magic. So let's jump right into it. So, of course, I can't display the full motion media picture here, or actually motion media GIF here in VR, but I did take some screenshots of it to show you and kind of give you that vibe of what we're looking at here. And so, of course, it is kind of this progressive reveal up until the end. And so, just to start off with, you do start with kind of that black banking, that black or blank backing there. And this, of course, whenever you're kind of probably going to be confused. You're likely like, what's happening? What is this? Is this an error? But instantly it starts to catalyze and starts to kind of generate right before your eyes here. And so it progressively moves through that. It kind of just generates right before your eyes and just kind of comes into existence there. And so whenever you first see this piece, you're likely going to be caught by this center emphasis here. Of course, it's set in the center, so there is that sense of balance. So it's very, very, of course, symmetrical in form there, but that draws your attention, a little bit of that radial symmetry, at least in placement as well. And so we also see it emphasizes itself mainly through I believe it's a dark on light contrast. Of course, if you look here at the edges, it is a light on dark contrast, but within that, there actually are multiple layers. So I think that's also important to know. You see a very diverse color set here, mainly set upon that kind of orange, red, and pink purplish foundation, but there are a very, very wide range of colors within this work. Of course, we see some blues. Oops. We see some blues, see some purples, we see some greens, some yellows. Of course, ton diverse color there. That also adds to the sense of energy within the work. Of course, you have that kind of endless textural swirl there, but within that really diverse color set also adds that set of energy within the work at hand. And so also in the realm of color, we see this very glossy, kind of a glossy sphere here. It does feel rigid, but at the same time, there is this kind of morphing fluidity under the surface there. So a lot of different diverse texture, but it's very, very cool the way it draws you in. Very energetic, of course, implied motion and a literal sense of motion by the fact that it's a GIF. And so there is this kind of climactic reveal. Like I said, you start with that blank backing, and then it reveals and kind of generates right before your eyes there. And that reveal is really climactic. Of course, you're not expecting that whenever you look at this piece. If you were to click on it, say from an online profile, you're not going to see this end, that final result. You're just going to see that blank backing. You're probably going to be intrigued by that. So you might click on it, you might tap on it to inspect it a bit more, and then all of a sudden, boom, it generates right before your eyes. And it's kind of hovering there. And the artist actually noted that they wanted to kind of mess with the kind of slow, tranquil, calm effect, and we definitely see that with absolute ease. Of course, you can't see that in VR, but it is kind of hovering, a little bit rotating in place there. So that's also important to note. And so, with that in mind, there is kind of this. If we were to map out the energy, it is kind of like that reveal, and then it comes off. So kind of like an S curve. Mess it up at the end. but like I said, you have that, you start with that blank backing there, and then it comes, and then it kind of falls off there. And so with that in mind, that's really important to note. Of course, starts there on the flat, energy, and then it kind of settles off because it's completely revealed. So it's kind of the S curve in the realm of energy. I thought that was important to note. It's also, I guess I'm moving everything today. but like I said, very climactic reveal. You're not expecting it whenever you see this piece. It's going to be very surprising, very mesmerizing as well. And so that climax, it is kind of, it's kind of the antithesis maybe. It is the exact thing that we expect whenever we're looking at a story or a piece of art or even a GIF. You don't want something that's kind of boring and static and just kind of sitting there. It generates and it kind of hovers in place as well. So that sense of dynamic motion, very dynamic visual experience whenever you're taking a look at it. Finally, I wanted to talk a little bit about this sense of magic within the work. Of course, iridescent light and iridescent color is almost always associated with magic. And it's hard exactly to say why, Perhaps it's because of, say, the magical qualities of bubbles or crystals or kind of oil on water. Any of those things, they do feel kind of larger than life. It's hard to explain or put that into words, but the sense of magic within this work is just inescapable. Kind of like a genesis whenever it's taking a look at this work. And of course, it also uses that bright sense of light here. I think that's most notable here. You see those flares or that kind of radiating energy coming off of the work there. Definitely gives that orb kind of a sense of importance or divine importance as well. So I think those are all really important whenever taking a look at this work. Very glowing piece, very magical, very fantasy, very divine. And even for me personally, it's kind of hard to put that into words. And this is actually the first piece that we're going to be showcasing from David from Mars. He's really been supportive of the community, so I want to take a look at his art, kind of see what we can learn from that, and I hope I did a great job for that. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Go check out David's other works. He doesn't have too many up right now. He is, at least from what I can tell, he is an up-and-coming artist, just starting to put out some of their work, but like I said, a bunch of stuff coming from this artist, and just absolutely love the depiction here. Very, very clever with that climactic reveal. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. My name is Apollo. This was Apollo Art Analysis, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.